friends yang tak sihat juga need to go and see the doctor. So please take care. For those yang masih sihat, masih alhamdulillah tu jaga diri, minum air banyak-banyak. Okay, so let me share the screen. Okay. This is the chapter. Okay, betul nama bus tracking, but it's actually under text analysis. Okay, it's a combination of my notes and Dr. Rohaila's notes that what she already posted in YouFuture. So tak apa, boleh tengok. Saya ada letak a few apa kata additional points juga kat dalam ni. So for this text analysis, okay, you will learn about a few things. First one is a specific form of text analysis, for example, for sentiment, for bus tracking, and also the steps and also processes in sentiment analysis. So for those who are going to do sentiment analysis for your FYP, so please take note. Okay, those are the processes, how are you going to conduct your sentiment analysis project. Okay, let's start with text analysis. So basically text analysis, or sometimes people will call it as a text mining. Okay, it's actually a process of getting the meaningful information ataupun extracting the meaningful information from the text, okay, from the unstructured data that you have. Of course lah, unstructured data tu that it refers to the text. So it's either a sentence, a document, a paragraph, or documents. Okay, it involves detecting and also interpreting the trends and patterns to obtain relevant insights from the data. And the biggest challenge actually for this text analysis, okay, is the high dimensionality. Okay, because we know that for unstructured data, the dimension will be the words in the document. Okay, you can imagine macam kalau kata we transform it into columns. So kalau kata you punya sentence tu panjang, ada yang ada mungkin some of the sentence consists of 10 words, some of the sentence tu akan consist of 20, 30. So dia punya dimension tu is a dynamic. And also sometimes if you transform the whole paragraph into into a data set tu, nanti dia akan jadi very huge punya dimension. Okay, so that is the biggest challenge in text analysis. So example that we can give you is, the first one is analyzing hundreds of online reviews to learn about the things that your client like or dislike about your product. Okay, like scraping the reviews, scraping the posts from the websites, from the Facebook or from the Twitter. Okay, so the process tu is pun kata banyak kerja lah kan. There are so many steps, so many procedures that need to be considered. And then for text analysis, however, can help you automatically tag reviews by topic and also classify each opinion as positive, negative or neutral. But usually for sentiment, we will focus on the positive and negative. Sebab neutral ni kadang-kadang dia macam tak banyak sangat points yang kita boleh dapat daripada situ. Okay, and the application for text analysis, okay, I give you here. I give in this slide I listed two. Okay, the first one, text classification application and also text extraction application. So for text classification, it will involve topic analysis. Okay, and then it will also involve sentiment analysis and also bus tracking. While for text extraction, kita boleh buat keyword extraction. We can also do entity extraction. Where keyword extraction is actually identify the most relevant words in the document. Okay, kalau macam contoh you nak buat macam nak get the points ataupun dokumen ni cerita tentang apa, nak buat text summarization ke apa benda, tu you boleh buat keyword extraction lah, sebab in order for you to summarize the whole documents tu, you need to know what are the most relevant keywords that represent the whole document kan. And then the second one is entity extraction, where it is a process of collecting important information such as the names, emails, phone numbers, and also company names. Or we can allow allow them to easily detect which of their branches are being mentioned more often. Okay, ini kalau macam untuk company lah. Okay, but untuk macam usually kalau kata FYP tu students will always usually choose sentiment analysis, and then ada juga yang buat topic modelling ataupun keyword extraction. Okay, ataupun you boleh combine je dua-dua pun boleh lah. Okay, kalau nak, tapi it will be dia punya proses tu slightly different antara sentiment dengan also topic modelling ataupun keyword extraction. And next is bus tracking. Okay, ini ni lah sebab kat sini I did mention about bus tracking. So what is bus tracking? Pun sama juga macam text analytics tadi, dia ada text analysis. Some people call it text mining. So bus tracking ni ada yang cakap bus monitoring. Okay, so it is a process of monitoring consumer responses to commercial services and products in order to establish the marketing buzz surrounding a new or existing offer. So you boleh tengok lah, if you have a new service, a new products, you nak tengok the response towards the new products macam mana, you can do this buzz tracking. So process of scraping data, analysing all the comments apa semua tu is under buzz tracking. Okay, so it is similar to media monitoring. It is becoming increasingly popular as a base of strategic insight development alongside other forms of market research. Dulu market research has been done manually, where they have they need to appoint some researchers ke ataupun marketing officers to do this research. Okay, banyaklah kerja, nak kena pergi buat survey lah, buat questionnaire lah, all those things. And of course it will involve lots of money kan. So by having this bus tracking, it will help to reduce the cost, and also we can get more response from the from the customers, and we can also get more information about the products. Okay, especially macam yelah, customer suka tak suka, in terms of apa dia suka, in terms of apa pula yang dia tak suka tentang products tu, so that the company can improve their products ataupun their services. And this bus tracking involve the checking and also analysis of online sources such as internet forums, blogs, and also social networks. Okay. Depends lah you nak buat apa. Ada some of the company dia ada dia punya its own Facebook punya official kan, ataupun blogs, or kalau kata tak nak ambil kat situ, boleh buat combination of several social media punya platform. Ambil blogs campur dengan Twitter, campur dengan Facebook, you can combine it, and that one is can give more dia punya coverage dia tu lagi besar lah. And this bus tracking has been implemented by some businesses for variety reasons. Okay, for example, they want to improve their efficiency, they want to see the reaction of the customers, samalah macam saya cakap tadi kan, and also to identify is there any future opportunities. Maknanya kat sini kalau dia nak compete with the competitors, dia yelah, bila we know that in business area dia ada banyak competitors kan, so how to get how to win the customers punya inilah dia punya preference kan, nak dapatkan supaya customer tu favor pada dia punya brands, pada dia punya products, everything. And the insights that we get from the bus tracking punya output, okay, it can help the company to guide marketing and also communications. It can also identify the positive, negative customer experiences, and it can also assess product, service demand, and not only that, it can tackle the crisis management, round of competitor analysis, establish brand equity, and also predict market share. Okay, to do bus tracking, it will involve few steps and processes. So basically there are 5 steps. Okay, kalau you tengok kat sini, yang colour biru-biru tu, those are the steps, okay? So it will start with the monitor the social networks, review sites for mentions of the product, of the company product lah. Okay, and then after monitor, identify what kind of social networks, what kind of sites, what kind of mediums yang dia nak tengok tu. You can start collecting the reviews, maknanya scraping, extract the raw information, the raw data from the websites, from the social media ataupun from the platform yang you dah select dekat first step tadi. After collecting the review, you need to sort the review by product. So this is where the classification comes in. Okay, so sama ada you buat topic modeling, you boleh buat topic tagging kan juga kat situ. Sebab kalau nak buat classification, kena ada target, so you kena ada labeling. And then next is to determine whether the type of review is good or bad. Okay, it's a positive or negative review. So itu pun classification juga, where you need to do the sentiment analysis. Okay, based on the tagging, you dah tahu dah tagging ni apa-apa, boleh buat classification. And lastly is marketing calls up and read selected reviews in full for greater insight. So kalau kita dah tengok, okay, there are many comments, many bad comments ataupun negative reviews. Okay, boleh, based on the reviews that you have collected, you can go through one by one, which under negative punya tag, and then tengok apa benda review, what kind of services, what kind of aspect dalam produk tu yang customer tak suka ataupun customer kurang suka. Okay, so that as a company owner, the owner of the business owner ataupun the owner of the company tu, dia boleh decide, okay, nak improve product ke ataupun nak reintroduce another product. So those are the things yang boleh buat lah dekat last kali, okay? Menggunakan all the insights, all the information that you get from the review. Sebab ini memang komen-komen dekat review ni, kadang-kadang kalau you will get the honest comment lah kan. Sebab dia tak payah nak, kalau questionnaire tu dia mungkin macam penat kot nak jawab questionnaire kan. Kadang-kadang questionnaire tu ambil masa lama, and then there are lots of questions. So most probably jawapan yang diberikan tu tak berapa tepat. Tapi when you collect the reviews, so it's actually from their based on their opinion, from the real punya situation. So mungkin lebih accurate dekat situ. Let's look at the first one, the first step, which is to monitor social networks, review site for mentions of our products. Okay, first you need to do parsing. Okay, where this parsing is to resolve the sentence into component parts of speech and explain syntactic relationship. So the aim of this parsing is to impose structure typically on semi-structured data. For example, HTML pages, you punya XML apa semua tu kan. So kita nak tengok, kita nak tengok dekat which part of the text tu yang kita nak extract. So the structure must be enough to find the part of the raw text that we really care about. Okay, so kata naklah ambil title, ambil description, so you kena identify which part dekat dalam websites tu yang you nak ambil. So for example, kalau you scrape from Twitter, there will be dia punya maklumat dia akan ada macam contoh date, time, and then the location of the siapa yang tweets tu, the tweets, and then URL ke, ada so many things. So you kena identify which one yang you nak guna untuk you punya bus tracking ni. And the output for this parsing is actually a collection of phrases and also words that speaks of the product. So to do this, you need to find, I think you need to find the keywords, the specific keywords. Sebab kalau tidak, macam mana you nak dapatkan the right review kan? Okay. And the second one, tadi parsing, the second one is regular expression. Okay, bila you nak extract from the websites, from the Twitter, you need to consider regular expression. Sebab apa? Sebab ada certain, certain user dia punya, the way they type the, the post tu, macam menggunakan, ada yang pakai short form, ada yang pakai kadang-kadang semua small letters, ada yang pakai semua capital letters, macam-macam. So you need to use regular expression to get all the data. Maknanya kalau kata you letak the words without regular expression, dia hanya akan matchkan dengan words you sahaja. Tapi kalau you put regular expression, dia boleh consider, maknanya you will get more data. You can scrape more data from the Twitter, from the Facebook, from the websites. And basic use is to determine if the regular expression matches the string. Okay, kita nak tengok kan dalam komen-komen tu kadang-kadang dia typo error. Tapi at least kalau kata ada the first few words untuk apa yang you nak cari, untuk keywords you tu, so dia tetap akan script. And then with this regular expression, we can take into account capitalization, comma misspelling, comma abbreviation, and many more. For example, kat bawah tu, okay, adalah a few things. So kita tengok dia akan match dengan certain sentences yang dah dipost oleh user. And ni sama la ilaha illallah. Okay, sorry, sama rupanya. And then step 2 is collect the review. Okay, bila you dah search, first identify the keywords and then identify the platform yang you nak scrape. Bila you dah tentu apa semua everything tu, it's time for you to collect the reviews. So bila you dah scrape everything, tentukan which column. So bila you scrape, dia akan masuk dekat dalam depends lah you import dekat dalam mana kan. Kalau you import dalam Excel tu, you akan nampak all those things, all those elements yang dekat dalam website tu yang you scrape, dia akan masuk dekat dalam column. Each one element, one column lah. Okay, so you need to identify which column yang you nak. So the aim of this step is to represent the collection of phrases and also words in structured manner. Okay, sebab tadi unstructured, we try to represent in a structured manner. Bila kata structured manner, meaning that it must be presented in the table manner. And then for downstream analysis and calculate the number of times terms occur. Sorry, ni adalah ayat sambungan dia. Kita tekan enter. And then common representation ataupun common method that we can use for this untuk dapatkan collection of phrases, collection of words adalah bag of word. Okay, so bag of word is actually a vector with one dimension for every unique term in the space. Dekat dalam you punya review yang you dah collect tadi tu. Okay, but again problem dia sama macam yang tadi saya cakap dekat awal-awal, dekat the first slide yang pasal text analysis tu. Problem dia adalah high dimensionality. Because bila bag of word you represent, you convert it into bag of word, dia punya dimension tu akan jadi sangat besar. Okay, so untuk tu dia adalah ada a few ways to handle the high dimensionality. Itu yang you belajar dulu dalam machine learning, ada dimensionality reduction, where you can use clustering for dimensionality reduction to reduce the dimensional of the data kan. Tapi kita tak cover lah how to handle the high dimensionality dekat dalam subjek ni. We are going to look at how to process the text. Okay. Okay, tadi back of word. So to produce the back of word, you need to count the occurrences of the word in the text. Berapa kali dia appear dalam text you. Okay, kalau you tengok dalam sentence, maknanya kat situ contohlah the. The ni appear berapa kali dalam sentence tu. Satu sentence, and then you can also look at the whole paragraph ataupun the whole document. And then in the text, sorry, ni pula, enter. Text parse and number of times the word is repeated and store word count. Okay, so you need to count the occurrences, and then not only that, kena tengoklah the number of times of the word repeated and stored. Okay, kena store word count. Nanti you akan belajar map reduce dekat last chapter tu, dia akan ada ini. You akan belajar benda ni untuk store word count. Map reduce tu dia boleh proses benda tu. Okay. This is how we can reduce the high dimensionality. Okay, yang tadi saya cakap tu pakai clustering to another story lah. Okay, this one is the first step before you, kalau nak buat clustering ke apa benda, memang ini adalah major task. Okay, the important step that you need to do. You need to remove all the stop words. Okay, yang mana tak penting. We on for back of words tu you kena tinggal, kalau boleh dia punya final product, final back of words ataupun the final results of back of words tu mesti hanya consist of relevant words sahaja. So all the stop words tu you kena buang. The, and, if, semua kena buang. Okay, and then after remove the stop words, you can also considering doing the stemming ataupun boleh buat lemmatization juga. Okay, stemming ni is a process of getting the root words. Sebab kita tahu kan bila kita construct a sentence, okay, dia akan macam-macam kan. So you kena belajar untuk dapatkan the root words. Okay, kena buat stemming tu. And then actually for stop words dia ada corpus dia. So you boleh find ada Malay stop words, ada English stop words and different language lah. Untuk English stop words tu melambak-lambak corpus. So you boleh tengok dekat internet. Dekat dalam GitHub pun ada, dekat dalam Kaggle saya tak sure, tapi dalam GitHub ada Malaya apa semua untuk stop words for Malay language, stop words for English language. Okay, and then the document representation. Okay, the features ni is anything about the document that is used for search or analysis. So for example, yang bila you dah script tu, okay, you title, keywords, date information, source information, name, entities. And then the features will help to downstream analysis in text classification. Again, this thing will depends to your objective. Apa benda yang you nak buat, apa benda yang you nak cari from the review. Okay, if you need the title, the keywords ataupun the date of information tu, then kena remain lah. Okay, kalau tak kata, sebab date of information ni is important juga, sebab macam bila you nak script tu, you need to specify how long, pun kata the duration of the data yang you nak script. For example, you nak script the review about the product A for the last 3 years. So kena specify lah from what day to maximum day bila. Okay, and then lepas you dah reduce high dimensionality reduction, dapat dah the features of the, sebab ini nanti dia akan convert dalam bentuk Excel. Okay, title dekat satu kolom, keyword satu kolom, date information satu kolom, source information, name, entities, everything. Bergantung pada apa yang you script. Okay, tak semestinya dia akan keluar benda ni. The features might be different. It will, it will based on whatever things yang you script from the website. Okay. And then you kena represent a corpus. So what is a corpus? Corpus ni adalah collection of documents. Why do we need the corpus? Because we want to archive them. So that after apa orang kata, later kita boleh guna pakai balik the corpus. Okay. And for corpus ni, since we know that this is unstructured data and it will involve high dimensionality punya data set, kita pakai reverse indexing. Okay, dia ada indexing dia. Cara-cara kalau kita nak, saya boleh share dengan you all my notes waktu I attend the course pasal benda-benda ni. Dia untuk buat indexing untuk you punya corpus, untuk you punya dokumen yang melambak-lambak ni, unstructured data ni, dia ada cara dia. Okay, sebab bila you letak banyak semua dekat dalam documents, dia akan bercampur-campur kan. So you need to nak track balik, nak keep track balik apa semua tu agak susah. So macam contoh kalau kata nanti minggu depan you akan belajar Hadoop. So dalam tu dia ada cara index dia. Nantilah kalau kata saya try to prepare a short notes on that. Okay. Kalau tak apa saya share note saya tu dengan you all. And then sambung balik common perception about this document often only relevant to the context of the corpus or a specific collection of the documents. So hence classifiers need to be trained on a specific set of documents. Any changes to the corpus requires retraining of classifiers. Samalah mana-mana proses pun. Kalau you buat machine learning, you need to train the model. If you have a new set of data, kena retrain balik. So sama dalam konsep ni pun. Kalau you ada additional corpus ataupun you tukar you tukarlah sikit-sikit dalam corpus tu, kena retrain. Okay. And the challenge, inilah changes, dia punya changes tu memang very rapid. Okay, sebab dia ada additional words, akan ada additional terms over time. So this could reduce the effectiveness of classifiers and filters if they are not retrained. Contoh kat sini yang boleh diberi adalah spam filters, sebab benda tu kan macam keep on updating kan. So kalau you ada classifiers, you have the model untuk identify ataupun untuk classify the spam, untuk spam detector tu, so you kena retrain selalu, kena update lah. Kalau tidak dia takkan boleh recognize. So bila tak boleh recognize, what will happen, the new spam punya tu takkan boleh detect. Okay, the third one will be the sort the reviews. Okay, kat sini macam ulang balik lah pula pasal corpus kan. Okay, tak apa. Corpus you dah tahu dah. Corpus tu apa. Kenapa kita perlu buat corpus. And then once we have that, when we have all the reviews, we need to sort the reviews according to the subjects. Apa benda yang you nak tengok. Itu yang saya cakap tadi, the objective. So first, macam contoh you nak buat sentiment. You kena tahu sentiment you nak buat tentang apa. Apa benda yang you nak cari dalam you punya project tu. Okay, for example here about product atau about service. Kalau product, okay, mungkin the size of the product, how to use the product, is it easy to use, is it difficult for the, contoh lah macam kalau kata smartphone kan. Untuk orang yang tak biasa macam mana, mudah ke tidak diguna. Okay, kalau kata service, so service macam telco services, in terms of coverage, in terms of dia punya plan, everything, you boleh tengok. Okay. For example, dia beri kat situ, ni contoh Dr. Raila bagi, the B-Phone 5X has coverage everywhere. It is much less flaky than my old B-Phone 4G. And another one, inilah, so kalau you tengok dekat sini, these are the comments being posted tentang satu phone, satu lagi, it means B-Phone and also Kindle. they try to compare kan ayat-ayat tu. So macam mana kita nak tengok, nak tentukan the first one sentimennya apa, positif ke negatif, people ataupun customers suka ke tidak tentang produk tu. Okay. So ini sorting dulu dia tak proses lagi. So bila sort the reviews, kita nak buat tagging. Okay, kita nak buat label ataupun kita nak tag itu positif ke atau itu negatif. Kita nak kena classify dia lah, maknanya manually dulu sebelum you bagi dekat model. You ada tags, kenapa you kena buat label ni? Sebab model kita takkan boleh buat classification, takkan boleh buat sentiment selagi you tak buat labeling. Okay, sebab kalau tidak macam mana dia nak tahu yang this is a positive review, this is a negative review ataupun this is a neutral review. So kena sort benda tu, kena buat tagging, kena buat labeling. Okay, macam mana nak buat? Ada teknik tapi kadang-kadang some of the students dia kata macam susah lah madam nak buat pakai manual. So buatlah manual labeling. Tapi macam tak efektif lah. Okay. So untuk tu, you boleh pakai text classification. So nak tentukan topik apa, dia punya words mana, words yang dekat dalam review tu yang akan menunjukkan positif atau negatif. Because each word dia ada weightage. So kalau kadang-kadang one word can represent positive and negative. Tapi dia bergantung pada konteks ayat tu. So it will based on the weightage. Dia akan ada weight lah untuk tentukan that is a positive atau negative. So you can do topic tagging, okay, which involve having a team of human users to determine the classification of the review and tag it accordingly. Manual lah, tapi macam saya cakap susah sebab it based on human punya judgement kan. But again, kalau dah macam worst come to worst, tak apalah, buatlah manual tagging tu. So there are some rules for topic tagging. The first one, if the product is mentioned in the title, then the review is likely to be about the product. Okay, ini kalau kata contoh kalau you ambil daripada forum kan, ataupun you ambil daripada news, title dia, kalau dia cakap tentang produk A, then most probably the content of the paragraph ataupun the reviews, the post about that adalah berkenaan dengan produk A. Okay, so that is the first rule. Second rule, if the mentions are in the content, the review may or may not be related to the product. Okay, maknanya kalau di-mention dekat dalam content tu, disebutlah nama produk A dalam content, mungkin relevant atau mungkin tak relevant langsung dengan dia punya produk. Contoh, kadang-kadang kalau you ambil you scrape from the Twitter, let's say you scrape from about product A, you dapat you analyse satu ni, okay lah, ini adalah comment given by the customer. And then you go to the next review, kadang-kadang betul dia mention product A tapi it is not a review. Kadang mungkin it is macam advert saja ke ataupun it's only a URL link yang mana you tak boleh guna pakai langsung untuk you punya untuk you punya ni lah kalau you nak proses the review tu. So itu kena discard. Okay, kalau ada those kind of data ataupun of review yang you dah scrape tu, tolong discard benda tu. And then a tweet is more likely about the product than a forum because a review may be about comparison of different products. Okay, selalu kan macam you all nak tulis apa-apa, nak komen. We tend to compare lah produk A and produk B. So kalau Twitter tu, kenapa ramai orang suka pakai Twitter untuk scrape untuk buat sentiment? Sebab Twitter tu dia macam straightforward. Kalau kata you go to the forum, kadang-kadang dia cerita merepek-repek. And then let's say lah, that forum for that topic untuk produk A tu mungkin it has 1,000 post. Okay, 1000 comments. Dalam 1000 tu mungkin 500 sahaja yang bercakap tentang produk A. The others tu macam rubbish, tak boleh guna langsung. Ataupun dia cakap di luar topik A. Di luar topik daripada produk A. Okay, so those are the things yang kena ambil kira. And the last one is the more frequent mentions of the product may indicate the review is relevant. Okay, bila dia keep on mentioning about the products tu maknanya okay lah. This might be apa kata the right data yang you patut tengok. And that is sort the reviews. Next one, the step 4 is determining type of review. Okay, ni yang kita nak buat sentiment, whether it is good or bad ataupun whether it is a positive or negative. So this one, okay, another text classification task is done at this step, but here involve determining if a review is good or bad. Okay, tadi dah buat text classification, dia dah tengok dah the words apa semua, tapi now is a process of determine the word tu belongs to which classes. Okay, positive, negative, good or bad. Okay, so ini you boleh pakai classifiers. Usually, kalau you do some research, you buat literatures for those yang buat sentiment kan, you will find lots of papers, lots of research yang dah dibuat, dia guna naive Bayes and support vector machine untuk buat sentiment. But now they have explored other classifiers untuk buat benda ni. Okay, that's why kalau you tengok previously banyak students yang bila sentiment je, oh naive Bayes, oh SPM, tak ada classifier lain. Okay, you can explore other classifier. Dia kenapa naive Bayes dengan support vector machine tu, sebab we know that these two classifiers dia two class punya classifier kan, dia boleh dipecah macam ni, dia boleh ya Allah ya Tuhanku, dia boleh classify two classes. Okay, satu A, satu B, good, bad ataupun positive, negative. So naive Bayes dia boleh separate into two classes, sama juga support vector machine. But support vector machine ni is a traditional support vector machine lah yang boleh handle two classes tu. Okay. So the major bottleneck of this step, okay, is the need for tag training data. Ni yang paling susah sebab you have lots of review. You imagine kalau 1000 review pun you nak tag satu. You nak buat labeling manually, susah juling biji mata kan. Itu baru 1000. So just imagine if you have 100,000 of reviews. So macam mana? Okay, so two approaches to overcome this is first one. Sorry, berterabur lah bila I convert masuk dalam PDF PowerPoint ni. First one is have human to identify good and bad reviews, ataupun the second one is to utilize the sentiment dictionary. Dah ada sentiment dictionary, you can find the positive words, the negative words. So pakai je benda tu. Kalau dia jumpa those words dekat dalam Allahu Akbar, dalam corpus you, dalam review yang you dah scrape tu, katakan words tu ada dalam positif, so dia automatically akan jadi positive sentiment untuk review tu. Tapi kalau dia ada dalam negatif, so it will be a negative punya review. Okay, so ada dua cara. For those yang buat sentiment, maybe you can take note of this. Okay, the two approaches to overcome the labeling process tu lah. Nak buat manual tak larat lah. Itu yang macam kadang-kadang bila I tanya students, dah siap, dah takat mana dah. Kadang-kadang 2 minggu labeling tak habis lagi. So bazir masa. Maybe you can opt for the pakai sentiment list tu lah. So these are some of the websites that provide the sentiment word list. Okay. Again, for those yang buat sentiment analysis, you can consider this. Okay, tak payah nak bazir masa, nak pergi buat labeling satu. Okay. So lepas you dah train the classifiers, okay? Sorry, you dah done you have done all the tagging, all the labeling. You need to train the classifiers. So here you want to determine the polarity of the piece of review for the review. Okay, nak tengok polarity dia. Polarity dia negatif, positif atau neutral. Okay, it will based on the polarity confidence. Okay, contoh dekat sini, sejak saya besarkan sikit, mukut-kut lah you all tak nampak. Okay, contoh ayat dekat sini, I really love my pet elephant. Okay, dekat positif, there are few words. Okay, dia ada love, hate, elephant. Okay, ini dua-dua samalah, tapi ini first Allahu Akbar, first table ni kita nak tengok on positive side. The second table kita nak tengok negative. Okay, dan kita akan compare lah which one is higher, dan itu adalah dia punya polarity confidence. So here, if we look at I really love my pet elephant. So words yang ada dekat sini, lepas you dah buang stop words, kita ada love, kita ada elephant. And if we have another word yang kata I love and hate my elephant, so dia ada three important words lepas kita dah buang stop words tadi. Kita ada love, kita ada hate, kita ada elephant. That's why dia list love, hate, elephant. So based on these two reviews, dia akan tengok. Okay, the first one, dia ada love. Katakan the first document dia ada love. Second dia ada love. And then fifth document ini kita bayangkan dia punya row tu adalah reviews dia. So and then dia akan check berapa kali words tu appear dekat dalam each reviews. Okay, dalam ni love katakan ada 4 kali appear, 4/6, hate 1/6, elephant pun sama juga. So negative 1/6, 3/6 and 1/6. Okay, and then kena kira dekat sini, tengok positive polarity, negative polarity berapa. So untuk I really love my pet elephant, okay, tengok kat sini positif dia adalah 0.093 dan negatif dia is 0.014. So yang mana higher? The positive lah. So we can say that I really love my pet elephant is a positive sentiment sebab polarity confidence dia adalah 0.093. And for the second one, I love and hate my elephant. Kalau tengok kat sini, tak tengok polarity lagi pun. Kalau kata kita macam, we as a human, we try to observe this review, ada love, ada hate, kita dah confused. Kau suka ke kau tak suka? Kan? So kita tengok kalau in terms of polarity. Positive 0.019, negative 0.014. Okay, so kalau kat situ kita boleh cakap apa? Dia punya values dia almost the same sebab dua-dua ada dekat dalam satu review. But this review is prone towards positive sebab polarity confidence untuk positive tu is slightly higher compared to the negative polarity confidence. Okay, usually untuk sentiment we consider the negative and positive. Neutral ni kadang-kadang dia kacau you punya classifier sebab the number of data that falls under neutral punya class will be many. Okay, sometimes dia macam dia dominant tau dalam data set you. Jadi you need to, tak tahulah sama ada you nak take into consideration juga, boleh, tapi nanti you tengoklah the result will be biased towards that. Okay, so ataupun you discard the neutral and then you focus on the negative and positive. Or what you can do is the neutral punya tu you try to dig more. Okay, tengok what are the words yang memang, sebab kita boleh tengok kan dalam review tu kalau dia kata okay this is a neutral review, tapi cari words yang mana boleh tunjuk dia tunjuk sama ada that review, that particular neutral review belongs to positive atau negative. Maknanya kalau dia boleh increase sikit polarity confidence dia towards positive, then dia akan jadi positive instead of neutral. Kalau dia kata dia punya polarity confidence dia lebih ke arah negatif, then we can say that the neutral review is prone towards negative review. Okay? So banyak kerja lah sebenarnya nak buat sentiment ni. Dia bukan macam main script, proses, dah dapat dah. Tak, ya? Tak. So there are so many things. There are so many things that you need to ni. Ya.
Yang line each row tu dia represent apa?
Yang mana?
Yang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tu.
Ini contoh lah macam kalau review.
Row tu represent ayat ke macam mana?
Ayat. Data lah.
Maksudnya ada 6 ayat lah kat situ.
Contoh. Ini, okay, this is not a complete example. Saya pun awal-awal dulu kan macam tak faham sebab this example is coming from Dr. Ruhaila. So bila I tengok balik, oh okay, it is a document lah. Maknanya satu tu, okay, the first document dia ada love. Okay, second one dia ada love, dia ada hate, dia ada love juga. Lepas tu the fifth document dia ada love and elephant. The sixth document dia ada love and hate. Okay, sebab probability the words dekat dalam total number of document atau total number of corpus that you have. Okay, kita consider macam ada 6 reviews lah dekat sini. Boleh
Okay, doktor.
Dia memang agak confused sikit kat sini sebab dia tiba-tiba je turun daripada langit mana datang 6 ni. Tapi 6 tu contohnya kalau kata you ada 6 review kat situ. Okay. This one. Step 5 is a search or information retrieval. Okay. Ini kita nak tengok dalam review you tu what are the relevant ataupun what are the most significant words lah yang dicakap untuk dalam review tu. Okay, we want to search and retrieve relevant reviews from the corpus that we have. So corpus ni tadi is a collection of documents kan. So from the reviews, sales and marketing personnel may gain insight about the product or service that they offered. Okay, so for this search information retrieval, we often use term frequency inverse document frequency, or nak simplify benda tu macam panjang, kalau nak sebut panjang kan, so kita panggil TF-IDF. Okay, we would like to find the most relevant keywords lah untuk you punya review tu. So each search query is parsed into terms, and then for example kat sini S8 camera quality will be parsed into S8 camera and also quality. So dia akan ambil the important word. Okay. So what is the term frequency inverse document frequency ataupun TF-IDF? Saya rasa kalau kata siapa yang buat sentiment dengan saya, kadang-kadang saya ada sebut TF-IDF. Mungkin you macam apa benda lah madam ni sebut TF-IDF ni kan. So it's actually a weight based matrix. Okay, kita bagi weight dekat words tu, okay, untuk identify whether the document, whether the reviews are relevant to some query terms or not. Okay, and then the idea of this TF-IDF is by looking at the rare term. Okay, dia akan tengok the rarity of the document. Yang mana dia kata is to weighted higher than common terms. So yang mana paling tinggi itu adalah dia punya, kita boleh kata dia macam the keywords lah for that review. Okay, so in other words, rare terms are regarded to be more important than common terms due to their discriminating nature. So So diberi, kejap lagi kita tengok, diberi satu sentence, kita akan tengok. Maknanya each words yang ada dekat dalam sentence tu kita kena find dia punya value untuk TF, IDF. So daripada satu review tu you dapatlah, okay, maknanya this is the keywords yang paling penting. Dia cakap tentang apa dalam review tu. So this TF, IDF, of course ini melibatkan calculation. You kena pakai calculator sikit kat sini. It will involve two parts. First one is the term frequency, which is the TF, and then dia ada inverse document frequency, the IDF. And the TF, apa benda TF, apa benda DF, apa dia benda IDF. Okay, let's look at the TF first. TF is the number of times a term is found in the document. Berapa kali terms tu occur dekat dalam dokumen tu. Okay, over the total number of terms in the document. Maknanya kalau kata you nak cari keyword ataupun term A, okay, berapa kali A ni muncul dekat dalam dokumen tu. So A berapa dia punya number occurrences of A bahagi dengan berapa total number of terms yang ada dalam dokumen tu. Maknanya A dan yang lain lah. Okay, that is term frequency. Kita nak tengok berapa kali dia occur dekat dalam dokumen tu. And then document frequency is the number of documents with term T in it. Okay, ini saya letak samalah supaya kat bawah tu dia pakai T, tiba-tiba lagi you all macam si pelik. Mana pula lah ada datang T tu kan. Okay, so kita nak synchronise-kan dia. Atas ni saya tambah number of term T is found in the document over the total terms in the documents. And document frequency, the number of documents with the term T in it. Maknanya kalau kata you ada 10 dokumen tapi A tu ada dekat dalam 5 dokumen, jadi document frequency you adalah 5 instead of 10. Okay. And another terms adalah inverse document frequency. So this is the logarithm of the number of document in the corpus ataupun in the document that divide by the number of the documents where the specific terms appear. Apa benda lah pula kan? So ini adalah log number of documents. Berapa number yang you ada dekat dalam corpus you? Berapa number document? Berapa number kalau kata you ada 10 data, then ada 10 lah. Tapi yang ada A tadi 5. So jadinya log 10 bahagi 5. Itu adalah IDF. Boleh Faham Okay. Kita kat sini apa? Document frequency, while document frequency only provide information about how many documents contain a particular term, IDF provide information about how rare the term is across the document corpus. Okay, so IDF provide measures of relevance that DF does not provide. That's why kita pakai TF-IDF, bukannya TF-DF. Okay, kita pakai IDF instead of DF. But you need to calculate the DF in terms of in order for you to get the IDF. So dapatlah kat sini contoh dia, kalau term untuk DF dia 18,165, IDF dia dapat 1.65. So auto, even though 6,723, the IDF is 2.08. Insurance, ni semua, and then we compare which IDF is the highest. Okay, term mana yang ada IDF dia paling tinggi. So kalau kita tengok kat sini, auto paling tinggi with 2.08. So we can say that auto is the rare term yang paling relevant lah untuk dokumen tu. Okay. Dia ada 3 benda tau. Bila you nak buat TF, IDF, you kena cari TF, you kena cari IDF and then you need to combine the TF and IDF. So dia ada 3 steps. Okay. Sekejap, penat bercakap. Okay, let's say we have a document, 2 documents. Okay, dalam dokumen tu, ini contoh je tau. Contoh je Macam yang tadi yang tiba-tiba ada 6 dokumen tu kan. Ini kita ada dua dokumen with different different sentence. Document 1 dia kata the sentence is this is a sample. Document 2 this is another example. Okay, so kita nak cari terms yang kita nak tengok untuk dua-dua dokumen ni adalah this and example. So kita nak tengok yang mana, which documents yang paling relevant dengan terms this and example. So hopefully you boleh imagine kalau kata you nak buat review on something, you nak cari untuk dalam review tu you boleh pakai ini. Okay. So kita akan tengok. First we need to calculate the TF for this untuk document 1 and then kita calculate another TF this for document 2. So you akan dapat okay, TF this D1 is document 1. Okay. 1/5. Kenapa 1/5? Okay, the total number of words dekat dalam ni adalah 5. Okay, sebab term count ni adalah the number of occurrences of each terms. 1 tambah 1 tambah 2 tambah 1, 5. Jadi, this, sebab kita nak tengok this kan. So, kita ambil ni. 1, okay, over 5. So, you dapatlah 0.2. Ini baru TF untuk this dalam document 1. And then we calculate the TF for this in document 2. Okay, D2. Okay, 1/7. Mana datang 1/7? Okay, total number of term count adalah 7. And this term count adalah 1. So that's why 1/7 you akan dapat lebih kurang 0.14. Okay. Boleh And then ini dah TF. Settle. Cari pula IDF. So IDF, the inverse document frequency for this in D ni adalah for both documents, adalah kita ada 2 dokumen. Okay. Atas ni 2 ni adalah the number of document that you have in your corpus. Bayangkan dalam corpus ni ada 2 dokumen je. Okay, so 2 the number of document dalam corpus you. And 2 yang bawah ni adalah number of document yang ada perkataan this. Okay. Happen to be dua-dua ada. Jadinya log 2/2 kita akan dapat 0. Okay. So TF dah kira, IDF dah kira. It's time for us to find the TF, IDF for term this untuk kedua-dua dokumen. Okay, so kita cari untuk dokumen 1 dulu, TF, IDF, you darabkan saja 0.2 darabkan dengan 0. Okay, TF darabkan dengan IDF, you akan dapat 0 untuk this, dokumen 1, and 0.14, okay, you multiply with 0, you akan dapat 0 juga untuk dokumen 2. Ini baru settle this. Okay, so next one is about example because we have 2 words 2 words, saya tukar color lah, kita pakai color purple pula kat sini, color hijau lah. Okay, example. So sama juga proses yang sama, kena kira TF, kena kira IDF, and you need to calculate the TF, IDF for example. So first one, example document 1. Pergi balik dekat sini, example document 1 ada tak? Oh, tak ada lah example, that's why 0/5. Okay, so you dapat 0 sebab tak ada example dalam document 1. And then we go to document 2, example. Okay, ada 3 per 7. That's why 3 per 7 you akan dapat lebih kurang 0.429. Okay, settle TF untuk example for both documents. Now, it's time for us to see the IDF for example untuk the whole corpus you, the whole corpus lah. Berapa banyak dokumen yang you ada kan? So log 2/1. Okay, 2 ni adalah number of documents. Okay, sebab kita dalam corpus kita sekarang ni ada 2. Okay, that's why 2. Okay, 2. And 1. Kenapa 1? Sebab dalam 2 dokumen tu hanya ada 1 dokumen sahaja yang ada word example. Okay, that is why dia dapat 0.301. So bila you dah dapat ini, dah dapat TF, you dapat IDF, sama juga macam tadi, you need to multiply the TF and IDF. So bila tengok dekat sini, you multiply 0 with 0.301 and then you dapat kosong lah sebab 0 kan. Okay, and then for example, untuk dokumen tu 0.429 multiply with 0.301, you dapat about 0.13. Okay, now, tak habis lagi. Kena tengok which document is relevant to the query terms yang dia dah tentukan tadi, this and example. Okay, now, you kena sum untuk dua-dua terms. But we have 2 terms, this and example. So, this untuk document 1, 0. Okay, and then example untuk document 1 also 0. Okay, that is why 0 plus 0 you akan dapat 0. Maknanya dekat sini document 1 kita kata tak relevan lah dengan both term yang kita nak cari tu. But document 2, okay, document 2 we go for the first one, this kosong. That's why ada kosong kat sini. And for example, we get 0.13. Okay, bawa lah 0.13 kat sini. You tambah 2 ni, you dapat untuk dokumen tu for both terms, dia punya TF IDF value is 0.13. Therefore, when we compare these 2 documents, we can say that document 2, okay, is more relevant. This is the conclusion yang you kena buat dalam exam. Okay? Boleh? Ada soalan tak untuk TF IDF?
Tiada doktor.
Okay kan? InsyaAllah tak apa. Mungkin bila saya ajar ni macam you rasa macam senang je. Tak apa, it's okay. Bukanlah kata nak ni ke. Tak. You try. Saya ada bagi, I provide 2 questions. Ini based on previous year punya final questions. Cuba buat, kita discuss waktu dalam lab. Maknanya untuk A, saya akan discuss hari Isnin. Untuk B, saya akan discuss hari Rabu. Rabu pula. Apa nama benda tu? Hari Selasa. Okay. You try buat dua-dua ni. Cari reverse indexing. You buat yang ni dulu You buat TF IDF dulu. Back of word tu nanti kita buat exercise. You nak try buat back of word boleh. Tak nak lagi pun tak apa. Nanti waktu lab nanti saya akan ajar macam mana buat back of word. Back of word senang je sebenarnya. Kalau kata ayat ni, you macam ayat dia ada mother love me more than father love me. Okay. So mother appear 1, love ada 2 kan kat situ, me ada 2, more ada 1, then ada 1, father ada 1. So you akan display dekat dalam table. Ini adalah list of words. Mother love me more than father Lepas tu kat sini adalah dia punya term count. Okay. Term count dia berapalah. So kalau mother 1, love 2 untuk document 1. So nanti you buatlah document 1, document 2, document 3, document 4. Kalau ada sampai 4 documents. Okay. So dia kata ni for every document. So you kena buat untuk document 1 berapa, document 2 berapa, document 3 berapa. Kenapa kena ada benda ni? Sebab you nak kira TF-IDF. Once you have this kind of pack of words, dah mudah untuk you kira TF-IDF. Okay, so first question, lepas you dah transform, ada 3 documents dekat situ, buat macam ni bentuk dia. Bentuk dia macam ni. You list all the words and then you kira berapa banyak term count and kenalah buat juga ni, back of word. Okay. And then find the terms, the TF-IDF for terms father and love. Okay, and see which documents is more relevant. You buat untuk question ni and untuk question ni. Okay, kalau you tengok soalan dia, markah dia besar, 20 markah. Okay, ini memang boleh score. Kalau you faham, you boleh buat dan confirm lah 20 marks dalam tangan je. Okay, so dah almost 4:10, you all ada kelas kan, ada group B ada kelas lepas ni. So I think I better stop now. So if you have any question, insyaAllah during lab nanti kita tengok balik, especially for TF-IDF. Bab teori saya rasa tak ada masalah. You all memang, you can read, you can, kalau keluar soalan pun you boleh goreng-goreng lah kan. Okay, tapi untuk calculation ni, the TF-IDF ni, if you still have any question, you confuse apa TF, apa IDF, macam mana nak kira yang bila log 2/2 tu atas tu apa, yang 2 bawah tu apa, itu nanti kita tengok dekat dalam lab. Okay, but first try dulu buat benda ni, kita tengok dan kita akan discuss further about this TF-IDF. And I will provide I think more questions lah for TF-IDF for you to practice untuk prepare you guys pergi exam nanti. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh Doktor.
Boleh Doktor.
Okay, so jangan lupa tick you punya attendance dekat dalam you future. Saya dah buat dah attendance, so I will stop the recording and